Hello and welcome everyone to AARP Wyoming's Video Voter Guide Series for 2024. I'm Tom Laycock with AARP Wyoming, and today we're joined by Charles Randolph, who's running for the Wyoming Legislature in House District 4, located primarily in Platte County. AARP has a proud 40-year history of nonpartisan voter engagement and does not endorse or oppose candidates. Nor does AARP make contributions to political campaigns or candidates at any level. Instead, we ask questions so our AARP members understand where the candidates stand on important issues and can make their own decisions on Election Day. Today, we'll ask Mr. Randolph 3 questions, allowing for a 1 minute and 30-second response to each. Then we'll give him 2 minutes to make his pitch to the voters of House District 4. So, Mr. Randall, our first question is this. Over the last 2 years, the Wyoming Legislature has made providing property tax relief for its citizens a priority. In your view, what is the most effective way to provide relief while balancing revenue needs for our schools, counties, and other entities that rely on property tax to maintain sustainable funding?
Well, that's a difficult question, and I'm finding it difficult to answer simply because our revenue streams aren't very consistent. Let's put it that way. Platte County happens to be one of the poorest counties in the state, and they've tried to get more funds through votes and stuff like this for property taxes and everything. I know it's high. In particular, mine went up about $400 this last year, which, as a retiree, that can be a difficulty, but I'm ready for it. But I think if we don't do something, if we don't find new, better ways to get revenues through other means, we're going to have a problem, and people are going to have to decide what they want and what they don't want, because we're not going to be able to fund everything. With the rare earth minerals and everything coming out are worth literally trillions of dollars. If we can get this going pretty quick, we could have a better stream, of more consistent stream, and be able to do more. But it's going to take a couple years, or at least I figure 3 years, to get it really going, and we'll have more money. But in the meantime, it's going to be a tough haul. I don't think a state income tax is good, and we're just going to have to get our priorities. That's the thing. We're just going to have to get our priorities and figure out what we're going to need, and ask the people, what do they want? That's the only thing I can see right now.
Thank you. Our second question is this. Wyoming's population of those aged 60 and over grew by 47% from 2010 to 2020, while the state's entire population grew just 2%. We know 64% of all nursing home beds in Wyoming are paid for right now through the state Medicaid program. What do you see as the greatest barrier to helping our older adults age in their homes and communities, and what solutions would you provide?
Well, once again, our revenue streams have to be more consistent. And like I said, we have to set our priorities. But as an example, here in Wheatland, Wyoming, they have what they call a legacy house. And they asked they've been trying to get a 3%, a tax rate, raising the tax rate from 3 mils to 6 mils, and they've tried a couple of times, and it's failed both times. So there's a question of the funding of the legacy house, whether they're going to have money to continue with it and everything like that. I tried contacting them just this morning to find out if they're in trouble for this year. I've heard that they're going to be possibly out of money later this year, but I never got a response from them. So this is an issue, and the reason why we have older people in this state, I honestly believe, is because the young people leave. And then when they retire, they come back and live back where they were born in and stuff like that. And we have to keep our younger people here in order to keep our economy more even and more balanced and more equal across the age limits and everything like that. It'd be better for our state overall. That means we have to have good jobs. We have to have good schools. We have to have good infrastructure and things to do for people. And right now, we're just not. We just talk about coal.
Our third and final question for today is this. Emergency medical services are not considered an essential service in Wyoming. And in some areas, ambulance services do not have a sustainable funding source. Over the last 10 years, Wyoming has seen 16 EMS providers in the state fold or consolidate with another service. What solutions would you offer for ensuring access to ambulance services?
Well, for one thing, we have to make that a higher priority, especially in these smaller towns that don't have consistent, just volunteer fire services and stuff like that. We have to train people and they have to be able to have access to an ambulance. They have to be trained as EMTs. This takes time, it takes money, and we're going to have to, it's one of the priorities we're going to have to do in order to do this. I know for a fact that a friend of mine recently had to have an ambulance service, but they didn't have anything available at the time, so they flew him from where he was to Casper, Wyoming, and they charged $52,000. So you're going to have to choose. Do you want to fly, which could cost you by helicopter a whole bunch of money like that poor guy? Or are you going to get an ambulance and keep it reasonable? This is a serious question. I mean, like I said, the population is very old here. Not very old, but it's very old here in Wyoming. We have to take care of our citizens. And the only way I can say like I do that is get the younger people to stay in the state, get good jobs for them, get good schooling for them so they can do a lot of different things. And we're just going to have to make that a higher priority.
Well, Mr. Randolph, thank you so much for your time and taking the time to answer our questions. Let's give you 2 minutes now to let the voters of House District 4 know why you believe you're the best person to represent that district.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm the best person to represent the county or District 4 simply for one reason. You've got two fighting factions in the Republican Party. You got the Freedom Caucus, who, in my opinion, don't want to do anything. They just don't want to spend money. They don't want to raise taxes. They're not really interested. Their only thing interested is in culture wars, as far as I can tell. And they're making it difficult people to vote. They've obviously used tactics in their run up to the primary that was not good. I mean, false information, stuff like that. That's not good. And then you got the Wyoming caucus who's attempting to try to maintain everything like that. And I think I just want to come in as an outside and say, hey, look, I'm not here to fight like these guys are. I'm in here to get something done. Figure out what the problems are, figure out what we can do about, and do what I can to make life a little bit better here for every Wyomingite. All my friends, all the people I've lived with for years. This is important to me. And it's not the Wyoming I left when I left for a job and when I came back in 2016. And it's unfortunate because we're better than that. We have to get back to the idea of taking care of the populace and the people that are here. And I think I can just do a better job because I won't be representing a cause or a philosophy. I'll be working for the people, and that's what representatives are supposed to do: work for the people that elected them. And that's why I'm running for this office.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Randolph, for your time, and thank you to our viewers for joining us in this video voter guide. We encourage you to keep checking Cowboy State Daily and AARP Wyoming's Facebook page for more voter guides in the days to come.